Since we are all, I'm assuming we are all constitutional patriots, that seems to be the buzzword. The Constitution, from its origin, recognizes that one, whether a temple is a private property or not, it is certainly not public property in the sense that when you enter a temple, you cannot enter there as a matter of right. It is a privilege, and there is a reason for it. You can practice your faith in the private confines of your home, whichever way you want to. If you choose to establish a temple of your own, even that could offend sentiments, because if it goes against tradition, people have a right to object to it. But you're going a step further, which is to say that I will enter the place of worship of a certain community, and I will impose my individual will on that particular institution at the expense of everybody else's sentiments. The Constitution is crystal clear on this. All fundamental rights are subject to the rights of other people, particularly when it comes to religious institutions. Your right as a believer is subject to the right of the institution and the right of the believer. That's it.
Was it not the same argument? You differentiate the Sabrimala argument from that argument?
Very good. In fact, let me actually answer this question. So we were just told about sati, widow remarriage, education, and now untouchability. None of these practices were abolished by the judiciary, by the way. They were abolished through a legislation, which is a consequence of a social will, which is the society says, I've had enough of this particular practice, right? Show me one judgment of the Supreme Court which has struck down untouchability. Untouchability was struck down through Article 17 of the Constitution, okay? So if it is a consequence of legislation, it is a consequence of social cogitation. People have...
Parliament were to make the law allowing entry of women into Sabrimala,
exactly.
Will you agree?
My point is, if the Parliament brings out this particular law, then the believers have a right to challenge that particular legislation. The judiciary's right is limited to examining only what the Parliament does. The judiciary cannot pick up a practice from the society and say, I will sit and decide the validity of this practice applying the lens of constitutional morality, okay? And let me just clarify. There is no jurisdiction in the world, and I repeat, there is no jurisdiction in the world, no civilized country in the world, not even the United States, which allows the judiciary to sit in judgment of a religious practice independent of state action, okay? So the first thing that I'm telling myself, so what are the broad points? One, the right of an individual when it comes to a public place of worship is necessarily subservient to the rights of the believers. आप घर में बैठ के जब आप मूवी देख रहे हैं, आप अपने सर पे पॉपकॉर्न डाल लीजिए, किसी और के सर पे पॉपकॉर्न डाल लीजिए, आप चिल्ला लीजिए, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. लेकिन अगर आप सिनेमा थिएटर जाएंगे, तो आप पब्लिक जगह पे जा रहे हैं, तो जिन्होंने पैसा दिया है उस मूवी को देखने के लिए, आप उनके राइट्स को भी रेस्पेक्ट करेंगे. As simple as that.